Hi again, welcome to another video, and today I'm under the bonnet of my Mercedes Sprinter van. It's a 2004 CDI 311 and I have an injector leak. I've done them all once before, and that one there is the one that's leaking, the front one, which is good because it's the easiest one to get to. That was the first one I did that one second, and then them two afterwards. I did them individually as they sort of popped, but that one I had to rethread the bolt and I had to put an insert in it for the bolt that holds the injector in, but they all seem to be okay. It's this one here that's playing up. You probably can't see brilliantly, but I've got to take all this inlet manifold off first to get to it. But them three, the back three, I used a Honda copper washer on them. I found out that online that they were better after I'd done that one, so that's what I'm going to put in there. So I've just got to get that out, which hopefully isn't too hard. It's been out in the last couple of years, so yeah, hopefully it'll come out quite easy, and then we can get the new one fitted. I'll show you what it's doing. I'll start it up and spray a bit of spray there, and you can see it spraying out, but I'll show you that now. As you just saw there, you can see it puffing out, and that's a sign of a leaky injector. And what it starts to do is smell. You can smell it in the cab, and it just dirties up the engine. You see there, it's only been like a few days and it's mucking up the engine. That was nice and clean before, so it needs to be done. So my job now is to, and I have took a few out, but there's a series of bolts to get that inlet manifold off. I've got to take that pipe off, and then I think I'm through to where I need to be then. There's like a little clip there to take off and pull the top bit out, and then get the injector out. Oh, there's one pipe like that one. There's I think it's a 17mm to disconnect it, and then hopefully that will come out. Oh yeah, I forgot, you might be able to just see down there, there's a little bolt down there, but I'll show you that as I'm doing it. And then we've got to hook out the old washer, the old crush washer. I'll check down and check that everything looks good down in where the injector fits, and then we'll get the new washer fitted, the injector back in, then hopefully everything is all good. So now I've got all the inlet manifold off to where I need to get to. So firstly I'm just going to pull that clip off like that, make sure I have that safe. That has to be lifted off. Be careful, don't want to break it, but it comes off quite easy. And then there's that as well, connector comes off. Off camera I unloosened that, so that should just screw now, which it has. I might have to sort of bend that out the way a little bit to allow me to get the injector out. We're nearly there now to where I need to be to pull the injector out, but down there, right there, I need to undo that. So now I've got the right spanner for that. I should have probably used a bigger ratchet, but let's see if we'll undo. These do have to be torqued back in. It's undoing, I think. Yeah, this is a dodgy bit because it can strip the threads, so you have to be quite careful there, but it's undone. So then I'll get that out, and there's like a little bracket thing to sort of clamp the injector down. Get that out. That might actually come out with the injector. Let's see. Oh no, got that out. So there's that as well. So that goes in like that when it goes back in. I have got well, some new bolts to go back in because these are stretch bolts, I believe. So I'll try to, well, I'll put a new one in. Now I've got to see if I can move the injector. I just went to get the injector removal tool, and I come back to the van with it. On the other side, I just tried to push it around to see how loose it is, and it's loose. So it's come out easy. Don't think they will come out that easy. I've had this out within the last couple of years, and I did grease the side of it when I put it back in, so that's probably a lot to do with why it come out easy then. So yeah, you could be on it an hour or two and have to get special tools to get these out. They don't usually come out this easy, and I did videos of this before a long time ago. I will link them below, and you'll see they didn't come out so easy then. Had to work them out more, but yeah, that is actually come out with the washer on as well. There, so I haven't got a route down in there to get the washer off. I did make this tool before. All it is two picks together, so if I had to have got the washer out, I could have gone down in there and picked it out with that, but as it's on the bottom, it saved me doing that. I'm going to go in the shed now on the bench, give this a good clean up. I'm going to check down there to see what the seat is like. I think the seat will probably be okay. I have got a ream if it needs to be re-reamed. You won't be able to see down there, I don't think, if it did need to be done, but I don't think it will, because I did that last time, and I haven't been running it for very long with it popping. When you continue to use it, when the gases are coming out, it can sort of make a little channel in the aluminium, and yeah, you have to ream it just to get that out, but I think this will be fine. So yeah, this was the cheaper type wash, and you can see it's actually gone off a little bit there. That's supposed to be a smaller hole in the middle. So the washers I'm going to put in are actually the Honda ones, so it'll be a little bit different to that. They're a little bit sort of bulged out a bit more. So I'm just going to give everything a clean up and put this back in. I just wanted to show you the difference between the two washers. That is the one that come out. You can see the hole is like elongated on that one. You can see that sort of flatter. These Honda ones, you can see, are more bulgier. And I'll see if I can just find one of these that is new. So let me take that used one away. That is the type I was using before. And you can see they look much different. These are much thicker. They work miles better. So I'm hoping when I fit that one, I won't have no more bother. But then again, since the one has been in the van, it's done about 20,000 miles, and at the bottom of the ejector it is a little bit worn, so it's done okay. But when I put that Honda one in, we'll have all Honda ones in it then. So I'm going to get that done now. As you can see, I've cleaned it out in there. I didn't have to ream it this time. It cleaned up okay. I think it was just a washer that gave way this time. So what I'm going to do now is drop the washer in. I'll actually do that now. Drop that in there, and then I prefer to do it that way than stick it on the bottom of the injector. And I'll just check that it's sitting in there nicely, which it is sitting in there okay. So now I'm going to get the injector back in. I actually did put it in, but forgot to put that on. That has to go on as you're pushing it in. And if you see that little bit there, that actually does locate into a ball bearing that's sort of fitted into the head of the van. So that needs to be, what way around? It needs to be like that and like that, with the little bit at the bottom. So we'll get that in. That's in place okay. So I'm just gonna get the new bolt, and then we'll get the new bolt in, we'll torque it up, then put the other bits back on, and then we can test it. So now I'm gonna get the new bolt in. It's a brand new bolt, so I'm gonna get that in there like so. I'm just gonna start it first, and then I'll get the torque wrench on it to torque it up. So I'm just winding it in by hand, and then it's got to be 7 Newton meters, and then 90 degrees, and then another 90 degrees. Whether I dare take it to that, I'm not sure, because I do worry. But now I'm having to wind it in to a bit tight, but it's okay. When I took the other bolt out, it didn't look like any aluminium was on it, so So the thread in the head hopefully is okay. It was just saying went slightly funny there when I was tightening it up. It went a bit strange, but I think that's probably just a bit of carbon in the threads. Yeah, 7 Newton meters isn't much, so we are there. So what I'm going to do now is just get the socket ratchet on it, and to do that I actually take the longer bar out. I thought I needed the longer bar, but this should do it okay. So we're there. We need to go like a quarter of a turn. And we have done that. So that's 1/4 turn, and I've really got to go again, whether I dare. I'm nearly there, I'm not far off. I don't know whether I'd go much further. I don't know whether I dare. Very close it was. I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to ring the bolt or anything, because then I've got a big job on my hands then. So it should be okay now, I hope. So I'm going to connect that back on. That back on. You haven't got to see me do all of this. That one can go back on now. That goes back in there and just has a little clip on it. And then I'll just bolt that back onto there. And I'll tighten all that up, and I can probably start without the inlet manifold on just to check. So I'll bring you back in then. I just thought I'd bring you back in here. I am going to actually put the inlet manifold top bit back on to try it, but I won't put all the bolts in just in case I do have to revisit it. And over here, when working on it, I just put some blue roll down just in case something fell down. You don't want nothing falling down there, so I'll get all that out now. And that's the reason I'm putting the top on as well, just in case something did drop down into there. So better to be safe than sorry. And yeah, we can try it then. Hopefully it's all good. That's a bit worrying. I've put it back in and everything, and it's obviously still leaking because it's pushing the water out. It's not diesel, it's water. All I can think is, since I worked on this in the beginning part of the video, I have been on holiday, and I wonder whether rain has got through and got onto there, and that water's just been laying in there. That's what I think it is. I think I know what's wrong with the injector and why it's leaking still, but I'm gonna get this one out first, and then we'll go in the shed and we'll talk about that. But yeah, I don't think it's anything bad, that water coming out. I just think it's been laying in there while I've been away. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Otherwise I've got bigger issues. But yeah, we'll get the injector sorted first, and then hopefully everything's okay after that. So I'm now in the shed and I've got the injector out, and as you can see next to it I have a new injector. Well, actually it's a refurbed one, but yeah, it's really good. So what I'm going to do obviously is put the new one in, but I'll show you what I think the problem was. It wasn't anything to do with how I've done the job, it was just I needed another injector. If you look around there where the sort of face is around there that seals on the old one, then look on the replacement one, the material around there is so much more. See all around the edge where the washer sits? I'll show you. The washer sits on there between the injector and the cylinder head. So I think that was my problem. I think it was just too worn around there. You can see in that sort of area, where are we, there, and it's quite thin there. It's a bit wider that side, but you can see that all the way around, and even inside much more material there. So I'm pretty sure that will solve my problem. I'm not going to go with the washer they sent me, this one, they sent me that. I'm going to still stick with the Honda ones I've had good success with, even though one was wasted on that injector. Where is that one? There it is. I can see it's sort of sealed on there a bit, but I think that was the part that was against the injector. You can see it's not sealed so much this side, and seems to be okay underneath. So I think that's my problem. I just think that end of that injector where it seals is worn. The water that was sitting in there, I'm not too worried about that, because I think that's just accumulated through me not using it. Probably I didn't use the van for about 2 weeks, so I think it's rained since I've been away, and yeah, I think it's just pulled in there. It's supposed to have a cover over the top, but I don't ever put the cover on because I can keep an eye on the injectors if any of them leak, because these vans are prone for this issue. It happens a lot, but I had to do the same with the back injector. Probably a couple of years ago now. I had to buy another injector for that, so this will be the second injector I've put in it. Luckily they're not too expensive, £84, but I did have to pay a £40 odd surcharge, which I get back when I return my old injector. So an injector for £84 refurb, I don't think was bad at all. So what I'm going to do now is fit the refurbished one. You don't need to see that because you saw the process when I fitted that one. It'll be exactly the same, and then I'll bring you back in when we go for start. Hopefully it doesn't leak then, and everything should be good. As you can see, it's not leaking now. That was a problem. It was just the end of the injector where it seals had just worn away too much for it to seal properly. So that's all good now. I did work out that I could actually do it with this manifold bit on, so I didn't have to take that off. The back one you would have to, because that bolt bit there is in the way by where it clamps together. That one you'd probably get away and get that one out, and that one. So I could have saved time there, but it doesn't matter. It's done now. I think the water that was gathering in there could be from in there, because if you look at the debris I've got there, and there's debris the other side as well. So yeah, I'll clean out. I think what's happened is rain has pulled in there and then it's dropped down into there, and we did notice some drips from there down. So that's what I think was the cause of that water in there, and that wasn't good, so I'll clear that out now. So that's all clean, and what I'll do, I'll just test the engine for a few days, and then I'll give it a good clean off. But you can see how mucky it gets in no time. If you just let these injectors go, that will become thick, oily, carboned up sort of thing, and it will start to gather in all of them like I did when I first had this van, and then it's a real job. So you want to tackle this job as soon as the injectors start to leak, because then you'll have an easier job. I can get the old injector sent back now, because I had to pay out, I think in total £125, and then they give me £40 back when I receive my old injector, which is no good to me because it isn't no good. So yeah, that was the problem. Just it wasn't sealing right because the material had worn away over the years. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the video here. So that's all fixed, another job done. So thanks for watching, and I'll be along with another video again soon. So bye for now.